Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now I already know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask this in the form of a question. Are you like me where when you go to the range, you get your glasses on and your eyewear and your protection, then you get your hearing protection and you go to put it on and you're trying to do the best you can, but your glasses get pushed around and you have the stems that are just going and, creating a little bit of a gap, and maybe after a couple hours that's pressing on your temples and it's just a little bit uncomfortable, or maybe at some point you need to make an adjustment but everybody's shooting and so you have to take your headphones off, and well, then you're subjected to all the sound around you. It's not optimum, it's just the world we live in. However, I can tell you that today's product is probably going to be a game changer when it comes to all of that. Because here in my hands is Magna Lens, a unique product that solves those issues, leveraging high-powered magnets on the eyewear that connects directly to the hearing protection to allow you a seamless and gapless experience. Not to mention the fact that you're not going to have those temples just pressing on everything and creating a little bit of irritation. And so today what we're going to do, we're going to go through this kit. I haven't even opened this. I'm extremely excited to see what's in here because this is hot off the press at the time of this video. This is probably going to be one of the first videos to demonstrate this product. It's coming out very soon. A couple of different options and some excellent eyewear made in the USA. And so this is going to be a little bit of a mini series today. A first look and impression. The follow-up will be field use and putting these to the test, and then a final product allowing you to use your own earmuffs with the Magna Lens system. And so with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now, before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Magna Lens who did provide these for review. And I'd also like to say a very big thank you to the people at Magna Lens who is making one of these kits available to you. One of my lucky viewers is going to have the ability to get their hands on a full set. Not only what you see here today, but their electronic earmuffs, which are coming out very soon. So there's only one way for you to take advantage of that. Do me a favor, look in the description box below where you can get all the details. And so now as we get into Magna Lens, again, keep in mind the fact that this is legit hot off the press, brand new, very, very first look at this. So there will be some subtle differences, like the packaging is going to be finalized for the final production run. There will be a couple of different versions, so passive and electronic earmuffs. This happens to be a passive set. So as we bust this open here, ba-boom. So Magna Lens. Whew. First off, keep in mind this is going to meet and exceed all ANSI ratings. So these have been made for heavy-duty ballistics use, which is awesome. So I think that's going to be an important factor. The next thing to keep in consideration, everything gets fully tested for the effectiveness. So for example, not only do you end up with testing on the lenses, there's heavy testing and scrutiny that goes into the earmuffs and the NRR rating, and all of that is being sorted out. But what I can definitely tell you is, it seems like from the preliminary look at this, that their earmuffs are already going to have, I would say, a rating that equals or exceeds most on the market right now. If all of that holds true, that's absolutely awesome. And there's a lot going on here. So as I unpack this, we do need to be careful. Now, what I'm going to show you right away, and this is for another day, but this is an adapter set that goes to Walker's Razor earmuffs, and I have Walker's Razor earmuffs, so they included these. This will be another video that allows me to take my existing earmuffs and adapt them to this Magna Lens system. Inside here, you are going to see 3 different shades of lenses, clear, yellow, and blue. So if you're into competition, that's going to work out great. If you want some variety or maybe low light conditions, that's going to work out extremely well. So we will see all of that. Here's your quick start guide showing how everything can be adjusted to the size of your face. Very nice, and I'm just going to say it, even though packaging doesn't necessarily matter, they're using very nice, high-quality cardstock, beautifully finished. This is just a nice presentation right away. Little bit of a brochure that this did come with, talks through everything, very detailed. Right away, I am extremely impressed at what I'm seeing. This appears to be an adapter potentially for prescription lenses. I will have to figure that out. Couple of cleaning cloths and pouches for the lenses. A simple lanyard. The hearing protection. Again, these are passive, but they will have both passive and electronic versions. You can see branded as Magna Lens, and these are adjustable to both full size and, by removing a spacer, compact units. So depending on what you're trying to do, that's going to be phenomenal. And the lens kit itself. Now, I bring this up a second time just to say this is their current packaging, but it is not the final presentation. So you will see their final presentation even upgraded over how beautiful and incredibly nice this is. Taking a look at the lens pack here. So one thing I'm seeing right away, which I like, is they've gone as slim a profile as possible. This is fairly large, but keeping in mind the fact that this does have 3 lenses in here. And as we open this up, that is the array. That is absolutely beautiful. So gorgeous. So clear, yellow, and blue. They all have the stems included, and that's what you're going to see right away as we break out one of these. You're going to notice these stems here are very short and stubby. Well, there's not a heck of a lot to that right away. And we're just going to sort of open these up, and you'll see these are adjustable to length. So you can adjust these to length depending on the size of your face. Simple little click. These do slide in and out. So it'll be interesting to see how these last over time. That will be part of the critical feedback. This is a quality, high quality, and high density plastic. So you can see plastic components here molded onto the very thick lenses. You can see here extremely thick in terms of the overall thickness of the lens itself. Highly curved, beautiful nose piece set into place nicely. Couple little extra just flakes of plastic here. That's just something to keep in mind. Not a big deal, and it doesn't matter at all, but I am providing just a little bit of feedback here and things that I'm seeing and picking up on. So these little things should be probably cleaned up by the manufacturer, but again, not a big deal, just a little feedback to the company so they can make the adjustments. Again, keep in mind the fact that this is literally brand new and hot off the press. But it's the ability to interact and mate up with the earmuffs that do what the magic is in this system. And you can see these are high quality, high power neodymium magnets, which connects right there. And actually, very interesting. I'm already seeing what's being done, and that is wild. I would have expected the glasses to have, I guess, a flat magnet, but no. These are rounded, which allows this system to move around with your face and to articulate. That's extremely creative, and I like that a lot. Now, as we talk about all of the details, again, remember, these lenses are manufactured in the United States. These are a polycarbonate lens. The goal here is to outperform all other lenses and all other polycarbonate lenses on the market, both as far as the optical characteristics with low distortion, high resolution, and literally nothing to impede your vision. They are 2.9 millimeters thick, which is incredible how they have achieved this in terms of the overall clarity with that thickness. And that means not only are you going to get the optical precision that they're going for, but also the goal to be one of the strongest lenses on the market. Now, this does also exceed mil-spec blast testing standards. And through talking with the owner, something that's interesting, and I would not have necessarily expected this. However, when you get into your standard glasses, you would think that something that's all built and, rigid and, has these long stems would be more blast resistant than something that's literally just connected. But no, actually, this ends up being a stronger connection and more blast resistant, which I think is just very interesting. And I hope I'm not speaking out of line, but I believe that is the case. And that is extremely strong. I mean, I just went to take this off and it literally pulled the glasses out of my hands. That is impressive. But the main thing being, now that we're not breaking the seal of the earmuffs, you should achieve between 2 to 10 decibels of increased hearing protection by not having the gap. And if you know anything about the decibel scale, it is a log scale. So every decibel is really a fairly substantial saving. So every single decibel you can save, the better it is obviously going to be for your ears. But a 2 to 10 decibel difference, if it's up in the 10 range, I mean, that's massive, literally massive. It could be the difference between your ears being protected and not. So to me, that is critical. Not to mention the enhanced comfort you should get from a system like this. So let's talk about the earmuffs for a minute. Here are my existing IsoTunes earmuffs. Now these have a rating of 25 NRR. These are definitely by far my best earmuffs to date. Now the people at Magna Lens had a lab test and certify their hearing protection, and they got a rating of 30 NRR, which is insane. Now, that is a very high noise reduction rating. That's a very high certification. And the people at Magna Lens were like, I don't necessarily want to trust those numbers. So they have since hired an additional, renowned lab to additionally test, retest, and recertify to make sure that they are accurate in their reportings. And if you do some research, you will find out that NRR ratings across the board can be a little bit washy. So the people at Magna Lens really going above and beyond what the industry does to make sure that their products have the highest quality, not only certifications, but accurate reporting to the consumer. And I think there's something to be said for that. The level of just intrigue and the level of interest and the level of transparency from this company, in my opinion, is just phenomenal to hear that. And I'm very happy to hear that about the Magna Lens products. But as we get into these are definitely adjustable. Now, not only are you able to adjust them, to the appropriate length for the size of your head, you'll see these are clicking and adjusting down. That's nice. Quality leather head strap across the top. Nice and beefy, good quality ear pads, leather ear pads. Very, very nice and soft. These can be made smaller. So let's try this. We're basically going to reach inside here and let's see. It's not that easy. Oh, there it goes. So yeah, that does just kind of pop off. Let's try that again on this side here. Oh, okay. So for me, it was like if I just curled my fingers and kind of popped it off. When I was going this way, it wasn't working, but curl the fingers and pop it off. That definitely works. Pulling out the pads here, and we're going to pull out this spacer. So you can see a couple of actual pads in there. This is definitely difficult. This is not easy. I could see someone definitely having a problem and potentially cracking this plastic. So to me, oh, that's easier. All right, so it wasn't too bad. And as you take a look at this spacer, chances are it probably only goes back on one direction, but let's just take a quick look. Looks like it's going to go in that way. Will it go this way? Hard to say. It looks like it might go back in both ways, but either way, this does allow you to slim everything down. So we're going to take the foam, put that back into place. We'll pop that ear cup back in. That was easy. So going back in, no problem. And keep in mind that you're gonna have to pay attention to the direction of the magnets. So I don't think that will be too big of a problem as long as they get installed the same way. Could you theoretically get these backwards is the question. Hard to say. Let's take a look at this. So yes, if you're not careful, you can get your magnets swapped the wrong direction. Oh, maybe not. I don't know if that, yeah, it did go. So just pay attention to that when you're reinstalling. Make sure you get your magnets in the same direction. But just for the demonstration, you can see the difference between the slim configuration and then the full depth configuration. For me, I am absolutely going to maintain full depth. There's no doubt about that. However, in theory, it probably doesn't make too much of a difference when in reality, you pretty much have the same amount of foam in either configuration. I mean, to me, you're going to basically just place everything back inside and at that point have all the same amount of foam. So if anything, you're reducing the volume over your ears. It's just interesting. So I'm not too sure how that would pan out. For me personally, I do like to wear 2 pairs of hearing protection. So even if I was wearing these, having a second set of hearing protection, I could possibly get away with electronic earbuds on the inside of these. I'm curious. Which at this point, just for the demonstration, I have sort of like an oversized electronic earbud, and once you click these to the appropriate size, ooh, yes, no problem. That's awesome. So, I mean, you know, I think there's something to be said to be able to pick up, wow, these are super noise reducing. Like, I can tell you, this is impressive. I don't even have one of the pieces of foam in here. This is more so than these for sure. Let me try this real quick. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, probably seemingly about the same. But anyway, my point is that, you know, I think there may be the ability to just pick up a little bit of sound, even though, I don't know, having the electronics on the inside is a little bit weird. But I've always kind of wondered. And to me, these feel really, really good. Removing this now just for the sake of the matter. And overall, you can see the difference between the full size and the slim. I mean, again, either way you go, I think you're going to get some pretty good protection here. These fit over my ears wonderfully, good and comfortable across the headband. They feel to be minimal in design. There's not a lot of extra material, which I like. And once I have these clicked down and set to the appropriate sort of size for my face, these feel really good. I mean, very, very comfortable, extremely secure. They're going nowhere, and I can tell you it is a nice quality fit all the way around. Now, my hat is going to undo a little bit of what I'm trying to fix here. So, ironically, that's a little self-induced sort of issue going on there, but that's a full seal all the way around, and that's going to do a nice job to protect me overall. These almost have graduation marks on the inside if you actually pay attention to it. There are some marks that will allow you to appropriately align these. So to me, I'm like 1, 2, 3 full tick marks and then like a tiny little chunk. Learning lessons the hard way. Take a look. The magnets, you can see I now have too far down. They're actually supposed to be towards the top. So if I flipped these cups around, the magnets would then be higher. Let's see if that makes a difference. Which that was clearly user error. So now as you take a look, flipping the cups around, and now have the magnets towards the top. So, lessons learned here. But, as we get into this here, and oh yeah. I am rocking and rolling. In fact, that's literally the perfect size already. I nailed it. This is so cool. This is so cool. I could probably get myself just a tiny little space further. Maybe, what I'll do is adjust these out. One bump. So that was 2. That's better. And again, using these little tick marks here to align myself. One more in. And these are now even. Getting these adjusted and on my face. Bam. Just enough room off my nose that they breathe. I get some air under there, but they're sitting on my nose nicely. Wow, this is going to be awesome. Just enough movement here to allow things to just sort of shift as needed. That's fantastic. Take a look at these. These are beautiful. What nice lenses. And just in a quick moment's notice, without needing to take off my hearing protection, I could go with the yellow. So, of course, these aren't quite as adjusted, but they're close. Clicking those in. Boom. Instant on with the yellow. That's fantastic. And then the blue. Each one of these shades is going to have its advantages. Now, I'm not a specialist when it comes down to it, but your eyes will adjust to the blue. And there are definitely going to be some advantages for each one of the colors depending on your shooting scenario. So, this is some sharp stuff, man. Look at this system. This is beautiful. What gorgeous stuff. Now, at this time, I'm not going to get into the prescription lens adapter. However, there is a lanyard. So let's take a real quick look at this. Very simple little lanyard. That's going to be easy. This should allow us just to loop onto the ends, which not much different than any other lanyard. Pulling these over allows me to drop these off, carry them around my neck, and then as I need these, just pop them up and into place. In fact, I like these tight. I had these ones nice and tight. I love the way they feel, just tight up against my face. So it will be a little bit of an adjustment as I get these dialed in. But the nice thing is you can dial it in. Like, have you ever had a system where you could like dial in the fit of your sunglasses and have them literally fit your face to like a custom molded fit? But here, absolutely. So all in all, to the people at Magna Lens, this is phenomenal. Nicely done. Now, a couple last impressions and things that I'm thinking about. For example, now that I have these and I want these to be my actual shooting glasses, well, what if I don't want to use their hearing protection? What if I just, it's a light day, shooting a little 22, I just want a little bit of protection in my ears? How are you going to use these? I mean, I wonder if they could have some just basic adapters that these could fit into and go over your ears like standard sunglasses. That would be a really cool little accessory. I'm sure over time we're going to find that they end up with different coatings and different sort of lens capabilities. But for now, the clear yellow and blue, absolutely awesome. It'll be interesting to see how these hold up over time. I feel like once you get these adjusted, there's not too many reasons to fiddle with it. So the fact that they're plastic and that there's a little bit of adjustment going on there, not a big deal. I think over time the manufacturing quality will continue to improve. It's already very good. Just being nitpicky, there's just a couple little sort of ticks of extra sort of material on the nose piece here, very subtle. I can't wait to see what they do with the electronic hearing protection. I think that's going to be awesome. The passive right now, very, very good. This system's amazing, and this is only a first look and impression. So the next part of this is getting it out to the range and giving this a try. And another consideration and something worth discussing. My wife is fairly small. I had her try these on, and I actually took these stems and I shrunk them down as much as possible, and it was still a little far out on her face. So future considerations could be women-specific versions, maybe shrinking these up just a little bit. Now, ironically, my son, who is really at this point 14 years old, basically these fit him just fine, actually almost about perfect, fully shrunken up, and he said I could use a little more space, which means make them a little bit bigger. So all in all, I could see these working out for most men, maybe a little bit of a limitation for some women, and some kids would be able to use these, but again, having a youth version would also be fantastic. So more products potentially in the future, in my opinion. And so not only do I have the ability to test these out, but guys, one of you will as well. Thank you to the people at Magna Lens for providing not only a set for me to review, but also a giveaway for one of you. So again, if you want to take advantage of that, take a look in the description box below where you can get more details. And so that's the end of part 1, covering these in a first look and impression. Part 2 will be bringing these out to the range. And then part 3, leveraging the magnetic adapter so that we can get on our already pre-owned electronic earmuffs. So again, thank you very much to the people at Magna Lens. And for the rest of you, if you like this content, do me a favor. Take a look at my Outer Limitless channel, which is more on my primary gear. On that channel, I cover everything from hiking, camping, and backpacking excursions, all the gear that goes with it. So from sleep systems, shelter systems, knives, axes, backpacks, flashlights, you name it. That's my Outer Limitless YouTube channel. So all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.